much of this you can see. I'll just check this out later. Try to see from your point of view. Yeah, you won't be able to see the screen. You'll have to do something else later. I'm just checking the camera for now. So, there's at least two kinds of boot disk. One that has the code for model 100 and 102. Looks like that. Just says model 100 on it. Catalog 26314. Right. That only works on model 100 and 102. There's another boot disk which has all the same files for model 100 and 102, but also has files for model 200. And that's catalog 263806. So for the purpose of a model 100, it works the same. I've already made copies of these, so I'm not going to use them right now. Just wanted to show that there's two. And then this is the boot up sequence copied out of the manual. And you just follow the sequence in the manual. So we'll start with a model 100 only, a copy of the model 100 only disk. And so I've got the RCA cable connected to the monitor plug because it's composite. I'm using composite, not RF. So I'm not using channel 3 and 4. I'm using composite. So that's the monitor plug, goes to composite on my TV. And first off, without anything else running, just with the DVI itself, you get some messages on the screen, and that's the BROM in the DVI. So it's trying to use the disk. I've upgraded this DVI with 2 drives, but normally this bottom plate is just a blank plate, and the drive is up here, and this will be the drive that is called drive 0, and it lights up like that. Normally this would be up here, and this would, the top drive will be the drive that lights up like that. When you put 2 drives in, the cables don't reach. The cables aren't long enough to have the top drive be drive 0 and the bottom drive be drive 1. You have to move. Drive 0 has to be the end of the cable, has to be the farthest thing on the end of the cable, and drive 0 has to be the one with the terminator resistors. Drive 1 you install in the middle of the cable, closer to the board, closer to the motherboard, and you remove the terminator resistors. And because of that, because drive 0 has to be the end of the cables aren't long enough to reach any other way, except you have to put drive 0 on the bottom. So when you upgrade, you have to move the drive. So well, you don't have to move the existing drive, but where you plug the disk normally to boot from, that's the spot moves. So whether you moved an existing drive or just started using the new drive. So, and all we do is follow the directions from the book. Turn the power switch of the portable computer on. Okay. Turn the power switch of the disk video interface on. Power up sequence is very important. If you do it reverse, the unit will not function properly. So we did this in the right order. Computer first, DVI second. Message on the CRT after a few seconds, please wait. We already saw that. Insert system disk in. We have that. And the drive for the LED for drive 0 is light. Yes, it is. Insert the system diskette into drive 0. With the label. Yeah, one direction we're going to ignore. Insert the system diskette in drive 0 with the label side up. Yes, I agree. Be sure the edge with the right protect notch is the first to enter the drive. Well, no. That wouldn't work. Alright. Confirm that the diskette is fully inserted into the drive unit. Turn the clamp lever downwards. Alright. It immediately, the motor starts running as soon as you did that. You get a new prompt on the screen. Right? Microsoft Core, license to Tandy version 1.00.00. You get that. That happens when the DVI ROM has successfully read the first few sectors, or wherever they are, from the drive. The Model 100 is not yet loaded up. And a new message getting ready appears. Then you see this same prompt, that same stuff, matches that. And the disk LED will, disk select LED turns off. It's off. If this message does not appear, you probably didn't turn the clamp correctly, blah, blah, blah. If the above message does not appear even after the operation above, chances are that the diskette in drive 0 is not a system disk, or the drive is no longer good. So, the drives go out of whack. I have another DVI, and the original drive that was in it, it lights up, the motor runs, does not read something's out of whack. So, may also say there is no drive. Okay. The next part that matters is before you can run Disk Basic, you have to transfer load the Disk Basic program recorded on the system just into RAM of the portable computer. Into RAM of the portable computer. There are two ways to do this. Whichever step you make, you must first load DOS into RAM of the disk interface. So it basically just says you can warm start or you can cold start. Either one, a signal, it detects something on the system bus and that triggers the DVI. Warm start, turn the power switches of the port computer off and then on again, or if you prefer, simply press the reset switch. So I will do that. This machine has been wiped. I just did a control brake reset before starting the camera. So you could do that. You could do, like it says here, you could also do a cold start. Press and hold control pause. They say pause, that's the brake key. Control, brake, and reset in that order. Reset switch will continue. Release the reset switch while continuing to press down on control and pause keys. When the main menu reappears on the LCD display, release the keys. When you start the system, either warm or cold, the disk select LED turns on for a moment. Okay, so the most thorough, safest, most bulletproof way is a cold restart, because that wipes out all your RAM, which guarantees that the DOS will be able to load. You'll have your 5K free to load. No possible conflict with loading the DOS. So I'll do that. All right. As soon as I pressed the reset, the drive light came on. Right, the drive light went off. I now have 5K, 4.5K missing. I used to have 29 something, now I have 24 something. And so basically it's loaded right now, you just don't know it. So I have to go into basic. At this point I can go into basic and issue screen 1, and that will be proof that everything is working. Alright, screen 1, I forget which parameter does which. One of the parameters says to switch to screen 1. The other parameter says whether or not to include the menu prompts on the bottom of the screen. So I'll do this, and it immediately will switch over here. And then we have our file load save. So that's the, I think that's the second comma 1 tells it to do that. I'll try screen 1, 0. See it typed up there instead of down here. Yep, 1, 0. Turned off the prompts on the bottom. And you notice I got nothing over here anymore. It's only over here. Alright. Now I have activity on my main screen again. Screen 0 put me back over here. And now I have disk basic commands that you don't have in normal basic. L files is a meaningless word in normal basic. L files only works because I've loaded disk basic. Now it'll do it over here because I said screen 1, then I did list files, and that's the files. Format.1, backup.2, backup single.2, backup. Well, it's not format.1. It's just format, and it's one disk block or sector or something. Format backup SNG for single. So backup SNG is a backup program that uses one disk drive. We swap back and forth on one disk drive. A normal backup uses 2 disk drives, if they're available. And that's the first thing you should do once you have your working. Once it works, absolutely obviously the first thing you should do. I don't have to tell you this. First thing, back up your system disk, several times. And then try never to use the original anymore, and maybe and another copy. Obviously make a backup, make another backup, and have the original and 2 copies that you just never touch, and then have yet another copy or 2. That's the ones that you use more often. So that's that.